All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. All right, guys. So nothing has really changed. I'm gonna start off by bringing us back to the Webull update last night. All right. So on QQQ and SPY, I was looking for a retest of this. All right. So that is actually what just happened. What just happened? Okay. Do we have a Fed speaker going on? I know we do have a few Fed speakers. Wait, are they coming in today? Am I bugging right now? Hang on. Hang on, guys. Hang on. All right. It's Wednesday. Oh, we don't. Okay. I don't know what the Fed beige book. I have absolutely no idea what that is. All right. We do have Fed speakers tomorrow. We have a few before close. We have 3 before close tomorrow. All right. And then you do have this over there. That's pretty much all you got for like catalyst wise, all right? I don't know like what's going to be the catalyst that brings to fruition what I'm seeing on the charts. I have no idea, guys. All I do is watch the charts. There's absolutely like, I mean, you want to pay attention to the news, but there's absolutely no reason to go and trade with the news or yeah, I mean, there's just no reason to do so. So, I just watch the charts. They typically tell me what I need to know before things happen, and yeah, that's that. All right. But yeah, back to the Webull update last night. I told you guys that it made sense that buyers were going to be stepping in over here, and it's the same exact thing on SPY. All right, so this is something I mentioned the morning briefing this morning as well as last night. This is just like the obvious spot for where buyers are going to be stepping in. All right, guys, and it's literally just the obvious spot. And guess what? This was also the obvious spot where sellers were gonna step in. All right, so like from here to here, this was kind of just no man's land. Yeah. All right. But you did end up doing that. And then you also had, what was it on SPY? I saw it. No, yes. Well, yes, and SPY. So you had the hourly bullish divergence going on right into the big psych level as well as the zone down here. All right. So this is where buyers stepped in last time, as well as these psych levels, guys. So this is what I was just telling the people in the midweek update over on the Patreon. All right, these psych levels are just like, you got 4200, you got this, you got the same one 4100. All right, you could see like literally right here, you stopped right at 4200, right? So yeah, you clearly see that is where you got your bounce. I mean, I don't know if it was a psych level or if it was literally just where buyers stepped in last time, but guess what, guys? Like this is just this is like, you could see there were a lot of reactions here right here at this psych level, right? So that was the thing I was watching, all right? I'm just pointing out, it made sense for you to start bouncing, okay? I'm just going to point that out. Now, the only thing I'm going to be looking for now, all right, we're going to need to see if we go back up for the higher now, all right? Is this going to be just a back test, or is this literally going to be us like pushing back up for a higher high? All right, your hourly oscillators over here, you could see your stochastic starting to roll over. Are we going to do something like this, or are we not going to do something like that? Let's go over the 15-minute chart right here. All right, so I want to point out right here, you actually, hang on, let me do something real quick, just real quick. We go a little like that. All right, we're gonna go a little like that. All right, got that. And this is, guys, I'll just keep you updated. That's what it is, okay? I'm not gonna say I'm the best trader, all right? I'm doing my best to work towards consistent profitability. I'm trying to extract money from the market. All right, that is my goal. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, my analysis and my charting abilities, that is what I guaranteed. I got you with that, all right? The morning briefing told you exactly where you were, where you're likely going. I'm just going to actually tell you guys right now, all right? This was like both of my scenarios this morning in the morning briefing were literally just like, hey, you're going to come down here and you're going to bounce and you're going to form your divergences down there, or you're going to get this immediate bounce over here. Yeah, you're going to get the immediate bounce and then come down over there, all right? Now, I don't know if you're going to end up holding this. I don't know. Okay, you clear as day, you're getting back over this trend line. That is the trend line being respected. It's going back over there. I drew it on the hourly time frame. And then you got over here on SPY, and you were also flipping that trend line. All right, you do have the bearish divergences popping up, right? In this 15-minute RSI bearish divergence, that is typically what I like to see before really looking for a top or a bottom. All right, CCI is one thing, but I'm going to point out, I think it was yesterday. So hang on. Hang on. Over here, all right, you see how you had the bearish divergence going on over here? you know, going like there. But guess what? It wasn't existent on the RSI. So what ultimately told you that you were going to be coming down right here. All right. Plus, you pushed up exactly into a reaction spot. So that's typically also what I like to pair these divergences with. All right. I have my own personal system that I'm actually I'm testing out right now over 20 trades. All right. Unfortunately, I did not get to take one. I could have just kind of gambled with the opening rush today, but I did not get to take that. So that is that. All right. Regardless, guys, all right, we are sitting at the back test. You have your 4-hour CCIs over here on QQ and SPY. It's all the way back up here. So this was another factor that was just suggesting me. I need this thing to load. It's stochastic. There we go. All right, QQ specifically. Yeah, you were all the way down here. So, like, I'm just saying, it was extremely obvious that you were going to be getting a bounce, guys, when you're in the market. Just like, guys, just realize when things are obvious, it's probably what it's going to be. All right. When there's an obvious reaction spot for buyers to step in, they're probably going to step in there. Plus, combine that with what I show you guys here on the channel. All right. You do have these divergences going on the art. This is on the hourly time frame, on the RSI and the CCI. And then you come all the way down here to the 15-minute time frame. And let me just neaten that up for you guys. All right. Over here, clearly see, like, hey, you're just grinding away there. It was destined to happen. And guess where it happened? It happened right at the reaction spot. So that's why I said I like to pair these divergences I see with reaction spots, because that's ultimately when the other side is going to come in. And that's why I say, like, hey, all right, these divergences are showing you someone has the foot on the lion's neck or tiger's neck, whatever the freak it is, spirit animal. All right. And then, you know, all right, it makes sense that the other side, that the animal would start lunging at, right here, right here at the reaction spot. So that's that. All right. Something I actually want to point out before I forget about it. All right. Over here on Bitcoin. So this is something I was mentioning before. All right. I called this out yesterday. I was, you know, we're going to have to see. Are we going to go validate a lower high here? All right. Which I'm going to tell you right now, we did, in my opinion, we did validate this lower high here. All right, but I would like to see a daily close under this wick over here. I'm just saying. All right. Plus, I want to see this level lost instead of buyers just holding the line here. All right. But yeah, all right. We had buyers stepping in here, and it made sense. This is another one of those reaction spots. Okay. I don't care how bearish things look, guys. Like, when there's reaction spots, it's just, that's what makes sense. Okay. And like, if you want to go against that, it's probably not going to work out. All right. It's just not going to work out. And sometimes it will work out. All right. But like, the vast majority of the time it won't. So that's what I'm saying. You deal with probabilities, and it's like really all we could do. All right. And yeah. You do have the increasing sell volume, but that's not really what I want to point out here. I want to point out over here on the weekly time frame. I think I saw it. Yeah, on the weekly time frame. No. Yes. Maybe so. All right. Let me delete these arrows real quick. All right. Come on, delete the arrow. No, it's not going to work. Okay. All right. Let's point out this. All right. So you have your first red candle here. All right. So yeah, you had these doji candlesticks over here. You had those. You had 3 of them. All right. But you have a bearish Rami forming on the weekly time frame here. And what does that come with? It comes with the red candlestick. All right. And I want to point out that every time you form these red candlesticks, all right, as you were pumping into them, all right, you had another one following it. It's just like, even if it's just going to be a pullback, you're going to have another red candlestick. So regardless, that aligns with what I've been seeing on the indices. All right. So like, even if it's just going to be a pullback for a higher low here, you still are going to be likely having that pullback. Now, yes, guys, it's not off the table. It is not at all off the table to come back up here. I'm just saying, I don't think it's probable you come back up here. And actually, I'm going to point out right here, I may have mentioned this. I'm not sure. I may have. It's an 9-minute video, guys. I'm going to do my best, guys, to try and run through these videos as quick as possible, not talk in circles. All right. I tried like writing down a thing the other day on my whiteboard, like a little outline for myself, and I still didn't end up, like, I was trying to follow it, and it still turned into like a very long video. So I'm going to do my best to keep all these videos 15 to 20 minutes long. All right. And like, you know, like, I'm just going to let you know, all right? Guys, I just reviewing the chart. Some days they're going to be longer if there's a lot more that I have to bring to your attention, all right? But at days like this, where like, hey, it's literally going exactly pretty much what we planned on, all right? Like last night's Webull update, this was the thing. You were going to come down, you're going to go back test, you're going to go there. Or another one, I don't remember off the top of my head. From Or maybe it was just you're going to come back up and back test it. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure. I know that was the morning briefing. I don't remember what I gave as the Webull one. But regardless, this was my problem scenario that you came down and you know, came in for the back test. Now, yeah, guys, I don't know if this back test is going to end up holding. I understand it does. You're above these trend lines, so that is a thing, all right? Back tests, they don't have to be perfect, all right? But I want to point out over here on SPY, guys, like this is not, it's not bullish in my personal opinion, okay? Like, and also I'm going to point out, you literally are making these higher highs off of decreasing volume, all right? Not only this, all right, you do have that going on, all right? So that's important, all right? But this whole move has been off of decreasing volume. So I just want to make it pretty obvious right here that this whole move, it was a short squeeze, all right? We called it back down here when the fear and greed index was all the way at let's see if it shows it. No, so it was at 24, I think, or maybe it was at 21 of a low. I don't remember what I saw, but I was like, holy crap, no way is this market about to like literally plummet, all right? No way. And then you come over here to Mr. VIX, and Mr. VIX was also, like, you know, you had this condition popping up, and like there was just, you know, every time you got this condition, the RSI at 70 on the daily time frame, it was either a top or you're crashing. And I made the bet that you are not going to be crashing, as you know, everyone is you know, piling in short. And it's the same over here. It's like, I don't know if people are piling in long here. I don't know, because I don't think like these people. I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I try and do my best to think like a contrarian. I don't think like a contrarian just to, like, you know, just to say I'm a contrarian. I don't say that at all, right? Guys, quite frankly, I wish, like, you know, I wish I was a permabull and I was just going all in long this whole time. All right, you know, that would have made my account super happy, which I actually started a day trading account, guys. I started that day trade / scalp account so I could take advantage of what you know, the info I give to these guys over here anyway. And yeah, I do that. So that is going to be fun. That is going to be fun. But regardless, guys, I don't know what happens here. All right, but nothing has changed on the charts in my personal opinion. You still have this. This was at 70 today, so that paired up with Mr. VIX at 1634 support, guys. This is literally showing that the market, in my personal opinion, again, my personal opinion, that is what you're going to get here on the channel, right? Like, I'm sorry if it's not always going to be the most accurate opinion. I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to do my best to bring you the facts. I will bring you the facts each and every video, all right? But if my opinion's in there and my opinion somehow is wrong, all right? Like, well, not somehow wrong. It's guaranteed to be wrong sometimes, all right? If that's, like, I'm sorry, that's the opinion. But like, if you're coming to the videos with an unbiased viewpoint, and you're not just listening to the, like, if you're on the bear camp right now, if you're on the bear side, all right, well, guess what? You know, try and focus on the bullish things I'm saying. Like, obviously, taking into consideration things that are matching your position or whatever it is, all right? But like, in reality, guys, like, I try and do my best to keep this unbiased. I really do, all right? And like, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, you did end up flipping this trend line. I don't want to just hide info from you. I don't want to hide info from myself, all right? So you are getting sellers stepping in here. So this is actually something I forgot to put into the Discord. But this was a level I was watching right here. All right, and look at that. You literally wicked on up into the blue box. Now, what is the blue box, guys? The blue box on my chart is literally where the sellers held the line over here, and you just kept wicking up. All right, so all of these are big fat wicks coming right into that blue box, showing that that's where sellers pounce. So that's like, you know, if you guys see zones on my chart, just realize they're reaction zones. All right, that's why we have this one. That's in all the lines, guys. They're all reaction lines, all of them. All right, I'm sorry if, you know, recently it's been a messy chart. All right, I kind of want things to start playing out to the downside so I could start taking up a bunch of these stuff that I'm watching up here. I would love for that to happen. All right, I really would. Unfortunately, it's just taking some time. All right, now I don't know. Again, I don't know when these things are going to play out. I don't have a crystal ball. I make that very obvious. All right. But again, like I said earlier, all right, I will bring you the facts each and every day. That's the purpose of these videos. All right. And yeah, what I'm seeing right now is across the board, you're just back testing, guys. You're literally just back testing the rising wedge you fell out of. And like I said earlier, the top bound of this rising wedge was formed as a back test on the other rising wedge. And then you fell out of this rising wedge, hit a reaction spot, and then came up to, again, back test that rising wedge. So, you know, I'm not saying this is a fractal or anything, but like, hey, guys, this is pretty freaking cool that we're seeing a smaller, it's the same thing. It's literally doing the same exact thing. That's crazy looking. All right. It's crazy. Yeah, what I know I had something to say. Okay, whatever. All right, we'll carry on. We will carry on, guys. What this move effectively did is apply you to the top of the range. So you've been range bound for quite some time. We're going to extend this. I didn't think I'd have to extend this, but we're going to extend this. All right, which should we make it right here? Now, I guess we got to make it here because you came under here. I don't want to be tricked. All right, but then again, guys, this is what I was saying. The dealers are going to pull the tricks. All right, I don't know exactly how it's going to end up playing out, but if I was a dealer, I would try and shake as many people out, especially bears, before I bring this bad boy down. All right, and I think that's very apparent with what's going on with Mr. VIX over here. All right, you know, volatility is being crushed. I'm not gonna like point to an exact thing over here. All right, but like I'm guessing if you look at puts, volatility as like, you know, I don't know what the ID was a week ago or like 2 weeks ago while you were up here, but I'm guessing it fell. Like, look at this, all right? VIX is the volatility index of the S&P 500, right? So your SPY options and SPX options, they should have by default went down 10%, even without the moving up of the market. And guess what? The market has kind of just moved flat anyway. It's moved flat and up. All right. And I want to remind everyone, guys, hey, the trend is like, it is your friend until the end. All right. I'm not like, again, I do try and bring this unbiased viewpoint to the table. Okay. If you're a day trader and you literally just want to use all of the call outs that I do, you don't have to trade with me or anything. But if you want to just use all the info that I provide, all right, it's in there. All right. But over here, guys, I'm just saying your trend is still, it still is up over here on QQQ. The only thing I could really point to that like, hey, you got some, you know, sign of weakness here is you came down, you broke this low over here. Buyers didn't step in until you broke that low, which is why like by default, I was looking for a lower high here. I think that's what I mentioned in the morning briefing this morning. All right. And it doesn't have to wind up this way, but you know, guys, like I'm trying to flow with the charts here. All right. This is pretty much what it is. And this is what I try and do with my analysis here. All right. I want to point out over on, oh, actually Bitcoin. I don't think I finished giving you guys my thoughts over here on this one. All right. So Bitcoin, I told you guys, actually, I think I told you guys, I'm not sure. All right, guys, I 3 freaking platforms now, right? So there's that. I'm sure it's gonna grow, right? Maybe eventually I'll be on. Nah, probably not. I'm not ever going to TikTok. Screw TikTok. No. All right, but over that's funny. All right, I'm sure I could suck a lot of people in on TikTok, but I don't know if I don't know. I don't want to get into TikTok. I don't know. I feel like guys, I downloaded Snapchat again to like literally just talk to someone. And yeah, within very quick, a bunch of people added me that were on my contacts, and then boom, my psyche is messed up again, and you're freaking, oh, you open yourself up to distraction. So, you know, screw that. I deleted Snapchat literally within a few days. So, not worth. All right. So maybe TikTok is exactly like that, but then again, YouTube Shorts are like that, and Twitter's like that. So I don't know. Maybe I already exposed myself to that. All right. But I said that I was looking to. You're either going to get you're going to get a higher high here, or you're going to come down and you're going to form a lower high, and then you're going to validate that lower high by breaking the current low. All right, and that is what we have. Now, like I said earlier, I would like to see a close under this level, right? But it does not have to happen. I'll also point out you do have the bullish divergence going on here on your RSI and CCI and stochastic, all right? So that is also something to know. And like I said, like I want to see this like level get lost, all right? Because if it's not getting lost, if buyers are still showing that they're showing up here, all right, then like that's where you have the risk of, in my opinion, that's where you have the risk of this getting squoze. Not saying it's going to come up here, but I know you do have the 420 call wall. Now, that's why I don't think this thing is actually going to get hit. But like, if you do come and start inching up over here, like you see, this is this zone here. This is why the zone exists, guys. This is exactly why it's been on my chart. I knew this was where sellers were going to end up holding the line, all right? Or at least they were going to try and hold the line, because if they couldn't, then you're getting squoze up here. And if you start getting up here to the high, that is when I think a lot of freaking shorts are going to start covering. And that's when you actually have the dealer, the move that I've been talking about, the probable scenario. That's when that is completely on the table. All right. If you start busting up, like QQ already did so, all right. But if you start busting up past SPY's high, wraps, all right, wraps, and they're pulling the biggest trick of them all. All right. So there you go. All right. All right, so we're just about 20 minutes here. All right, last thing I'll call out here is XLF is at its back test, and it is slightly over it right now. I pointed this out as a something to watch. Like maybe this is going to be a tell when you finally get XLF back testing this. All right, and I want to point out here, you have your CCI here, you have your RSI up here, you have your stochastic up here. All right, well, guys, when you had this fall down here, you were here, here, and here. All right, so you have room for like double the fall now. All right, I'm not saying you are going to be getting that. All right, but you did leave these gaps behind, just like, might I add, you just like you do over here on SPY and QQQ. All right, QQ left a lot less gaps. All right, it's pretty volatile over here. All right, it was filling this one over here, where SPY just, was off to the races. All right, but like I said, guys, this was a short squeeze rally. I don't know when this thing is going to fizzle out. All right, but we do have signs that it is, it's probably at the end of its rope, like. That's what I'm saying. All right. And like I said, I do my best to bring an unbiased review to you guys. All right. I have literally been saying the probable scenario for 2 to 3 weeks now is that we push on up. That's what I was calling for. All right. I'm sorry it didn't happen. I am sorry. All right. But like, if we do get above this 322.08 gap fill, then yeah, your boy was right in the end. All right. And that's how it is. Okay. But keep in mind what comes after you get that 322.08 gap fill. All right. If you come up here, shorts likely get squoze here. You stop somewhere here, gap down. And honestly, I thought this like could have been the beginning of it. I don't know. All right. But again, all right, as traders, all right, it just, it makes sense to do your thing when there's, when it's pretty obvious that, it's likely that the opposing side is going to step in somewhere. All right, let's actually look at what's going on over here with DXY. All right, DXY is trying to break out of this. All right, and it actually cannot get over. I added this. All right, just because the 200, I've had the 200 MA there for so long, and I realized it's not too relevant to really have it on my chart there. So, and I started using the 8 EMA, so that is also a thing. And speaking of the 8 EMA, all right, you are literally bouncing directly off it. That is what held the line today. All right, when you start losing that 8 EMA, all right, that is probably like when you get your daily close under it, probably when you're going to start, like they're probably going to have a back test like that, right? Like look over here, you had your close under it, all right, and then you went a little lower the next day, and then you had your back test, but it validated a lower high. Like, well, once you came back and smashed that low, that's what validated the lower high. But that's what I'm saying. Once you finally had that close underneath it, you haven't had it the whole time here. You have not had you had over here, all right? That was a trap, right? I guess I'm not right there, right? But this whole time, you did not have a close underneath that 8 EMA, and then boom, you had it, and yeah, you were off the races to the downside. All right, so I would not be surprised to see that is your first like real sign that hey, you have complete weakness here. Like I said, the trend is your friend until the end. All right. Regardless of what I'm calling out here, right? That's a fact. All right. If you're going to be a trader, you're going to need to use trend to your advantage. And that's that. All right. If you're in an uptrend, you're going to be wanting to look at reaction spots. All right. And when you're seeing like with what I do, you're going to look for those bullish divergences on those reaction spots that are going to be support, and you're going to be going long on there. Then once you start breaking that, you're going to be looking for the back test, and then boom, you look for the reaction spots that are going to be pushing you down with the bearish divergences, and there you go. There's your short entries, all right? Now, I'm not saying like, you guys can do whatever the heck you want, all right? But that's, that's the best way to go about things regardless, all right? Regardless of what anybody does, that is the best, I think. I think that's the best. It's just it's going to limit your losses. You're literally going to have confirmation all around, and I think that's the best. There you go. All right, Apple did end up coming back up here. You are at this trend line. Now, I don't know if I put this on in this video, right? But you do have this other trend line here that I am watching from that high to that high to, yeah, right here. It's literally right above you right here. It's just about at 168.50, I believe. All right, so I do believe one of these spots is going to be causing the reaction on Apple, and whenever this thing does end up tipping over, that is when we finally do, well, whenever we get one of these reaction spots, that's when we finally get SPY and QQ rolling over, right? And that is pretty much it. I will catch you guys in the next one, and peace.